Giselle, did I leave my makeup bag over at your place? I know I was just there yesterday, but I seem to have forgotten where I put it.
Hello, Malene. You're looking for your makeup bag? I just finished cleaning the house and didn't see it when I was going about the place. You think you left it in my bathroom? It's not there because I just got done cleaning that place the most.
What? Seriously? Then I must have dropped it somewhere on my way home last night.
You were pretty drunk last night. So that's probably the case here. Didn't you take a taxi? Perhaps you left it in the taxi by mistake.
The taxi? Well, I'm still pretty hungover. Still, I'm not in the mood to call them about it. Hey, since you were the one that called the taxi for me, do you mind giving the taxi company a call about the makeup bag? I want you to see if they found anything.
I can do that, I suppose. But were you able to get a receipt from the taxi driver last night?
Why would I take that from him? It's not like I can get a refund or anything for the ride.
I see, but it's not about getting you a refund. It's just that on the receipt is the ID for the taxi you rode in, is all. Anyway, what kind of makeup bag is it?
It's all black and is round in the shape of a circle.
Anything else? Like, what kind of zipper and what was in it?
I don't remember anything else about it. Oh, my head is aching so much. Ugh, by the way, the woman that came over with me to eat and drink at your place said your cooking was great. She wants you to cook for her again sometime.
Is that right? Well, my belly is only getting bigger now. So it's becoming a bit troublesome for me to cook as time goes on. I don't mind cooking for you and your friends, but maybe right now isn't the best time for that. Next time you want to bring someone over, please ask first before just showing up. If I'm feeling good, I can make something up for you all to eat, and if I'm not too good, you might have to go somewhere else.
There are plenty of people with guts the same size as yours that are able to cook and all that still. Aren't you being a little pessimistic?
Well, everyone feels different being pregnant. So I happen to be feeling pretty lethargic and sick right now.
Oh, and when it comes to your husband, he's on a bit of a long-term business trip, right? I thought you had plenty of time on your hands with him not around, and that's why I brought my friend over. It's sounding like you don't want to spend time with me. I'm shocked right now.
Wait. That's not at all what I meant there. It's just that by coming over to my house right now unannounced, I'm not able to get all the preparations managed. And certain days, and at certain times, I'm not feeling too well at all.
Oh, come on now. You don't have to prepare anything for us. The way things were for us last night was perfect.
I'm sorry, but recently things have been a bit rough for me while carrying the baby. So next time, please just let me know in advance when you plan on coming over. I'm sorry, but that's the way I want things to be.
I made sure to treat you for not asking before coming over, didn't I? I brought you a gift for everything so that you'd be happy.
And I'm thankful for the cookies you got me that were half empty. But this isn't about that. Also, it seems that by bringing over your friend like that, you're stressing them out a little as well.
And that's all because of you, Giselle. You're not having any fun while they're over, and that makes them feel like they shouldn't be there or something. And because of that, you make it look like I'm a bad person for bringing them over to your house. Next time, you better make sure you put on a smile and are more talkative when I bring people over. No more of that pouty face.
I happen to be pretty sleepy and tired at the time. So sorry for that. But being pregnant at the moment, it kind of makes sense that I'm not looking so well right now. So maybe for the time being, can you just take your friends somewhere else to hang out?
What? Just a second ago, you said as long as I let you know first, I could bring myself and some friends over still. Now you don't want us coming at all? Why is there so much inconsistency here?
I'm sorry.
Well, whatever, Giselle. For the time being, just look for my makeup bag and make sure to check it out in front of your house as well. And if you can't find it there and get nothing from the taxi company, call the police about it. Okay?
Understood. But I'm not sure the police will be able to do much.
Once you've figured out what happened to my bag, let me know. If you're not able to find it for me, then I'm going to have you pay me back for losing it. All right? Hey, Giselle. You told my brother about what's going on? This morning he was furious with me, saying that I need to be leaving you alone and all this other crap.
Well, I'm close to having my baby here, which means that right now, I'm not able to take care of you or any of your friends anymore. So I had to tell my husband about what was going on in order to have him say something to you about this. I understand that you just want to use my place as a hangout space for you and your friends, but I've really not been feeling well lately. So it has to stop.
You went and sold your own sister-in-law out, right? I never thought my own family would stab me in the back like that.
I'm sorry, but you have been coming over with your friends too often lately. And since you have all been quite noisy while here, you've begun disturbing the neighbors. Do you know how many times now I've had to say sorry to them over it? And then they even ask me why my place is so noisy for someone who's in the later stages of their pregnancy. Just understand that right now is not a good time for you all to be coming over here.
You should just ignore all those neighbors. You're the one that paid to live there, so you should be free to make as much noise as you'd like.
That's not how it works. Though, when your house is this close to everyone else's, and honestly, this isn't about just that alone. The real problem I've been noticing is you taking money from my house. I was putting some cash into the drawer next to my bed from when it came time to pay the electricity and such. But recently, all that cash has gone missing. It started to go missing once you started coming over here, actually.
What? That's probably one of my friends taking that money from you. Why are you suspecting me for that?
Every time you come over to this house, you bring a different friend, right? The only person that shows up here regularly is you. And if that's not enough to get you to confess, I have you on camera, going through the drawer and taking my money. There's a camera in the room for my dog that was also able to catch you on it.
Huh? You have a camera in your room? Well, then I'll confess. I took the money to pay for my makeup bag that you never ended up finding. You were never able to find it, right? So that's the money I'm owed for it.
Why am I the one that has to pay for your makeup bag?
Because there's a chance you were the one that took it from me in that bag. There's all kinds of high-end cosmetics as well.
I would never take your things from you without asking first. And I happen to go with natural skin anyway, so I never use makeup.
Well, you happen to be pregnant now, so you have a lot of stress, right? I'm sure you're all jealous about me being able to live freely right now.
I don't understand how that relates to me taking your bag. And I haven't taken your bag. So please stop trying. I'm sure you already heard this from my husband. But we don't want you coming over to our house anymore. And even if you try coming again, the lock on the door won't be opened for you. So you'll have no way of getting in.
Oh, do you really think it's a good idea to do something like that?
What are you getting at?
I can break that lock easily. Or would you rather me just start making a scene right in front of the door to embarrass you?
Would you stop it already?
It really sucks that your husband is away on business trip right now. No matter what, you go and tell him I can do whatever I want to you. Also, the reason I've been coming to your house all the time is because the food you cook is great. It's kind of rude for you not to let me inside when I'm complimenting your cooking.
I am very happy that you like my cooking. But think of the time and place right now. At this time, I have bigger things going on that are stopping me from cooking all the time for you. Please just let me have my time to myself until I've given birth to the baby.
Being pregnant doesn't even mean you're sick or anything. All I'm asking is that you cook for me. Is that really too hard for you to do? I happen to have 3 friends with kids of their own. And when they were pregnant, they were still going around doing the cooking and cleaning.
Then would you go and ask those friends of yours what they think about you coming to me all the time to have me cook for you?
Huh? Why should I do that?
Most people don't go over to someone's house while they're pregnant and ask them to host a little drinking party for them.
Stop trying to make me believe what you think is normal. I've been so kind to you because you're my little brother's wife. But now you've gone and pissed me off. Giselle, I'm never going to forgive you for this. Giselle, go out and get some beer and wine, please. Also, get some snacks that pair well with them.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about today's little drinking party. I'm going to be bringing over some of my friends tonight. And just like always, make some of the best meals you can.
There's no reason to be cooking for you. This is the last month of the pregnancy.
Ugh, would you stop trying to use getting sick from being pregnant as an excuse already? I've already told all my friends that we're coming, and if you happen to not unlock the door for us, then we're going to start making a scene right out in front of your door. You understand that, right?
Well, my daughter-in-law is in the hospital right now. Malene, you stop it with all that BS right now.
Oh, now you're really starting to make yourself look bad. Don't you think it's time you stopped talking back to me? Also, who said that you could just talk to me like that in the first place? Have you started to become hysterical from carrying that baby?
I am your mother. Giselle has not been doing well and has had to be admitted to the hospital.
What? Mom? Why?
Since her husband happens to be away, she asked me to come and help her. I was told by her that she had collapsed and was on the floor.
She collapsed? Why? How? She's not supposed to have her baby yet, right?
And that's why I told you she's not feeling well. It looks like a lot of it has to do with her being stressed out right now. And after listening to her tell me why she's been so stressed, I learned that you've been bringing friends over to her place and causing trouble for her. I am shocked. Are you a freaking idiot? Why would you want to throw a party at a pregnant woman's house? What the hell are you thinking?
There haven't been any parties here. We just go over to have dinner.
As all you guys have been causing so much noise there that the neighbors keep complaining, right? And since that was due to you all drinking so much, that looks like a party to me. Are you freaking mentally making a pregnant woman like her cook for you guys all the time? You are in your 30s right now. What the hell are you doing with your life right now?
Well, I've never been pregnant before.
Shut the hell up, you child. There are plenty of people who have never been pregnant before and understand just how hard it is. Look at men, for example. They can't ever get pregnant. Yet they still seem to understand. So why is someone of the same sex as you having such a hard time getting that idea into your head? This isn't about not having been pregnant before. This is about being a proper human being or not.
But pregnant women can still do chores.
Malene, when you're on your period, you're in a lot of pain, right? Remember how you always cried because nobody around you understood how much it hurt?
Well, that's because depending on the person being on, their period can feel differently. And mine happen to hurt a lot more than people understand. Mine are so bad sometimes that it's like I'm sick or something.
And that's the same thing with pregnancy. There are people who don't feel as sick while pregnant, and those that do. There are people who feel more lethargic, and those that don't. There are even people that feel so bad from being pregnant that they will want to vomit. I am disappointed in you right now. Why the hell do you think it's okay to whine all the time about how hard being on your period is for you? But then you don't give a crap when someone else is saying pregnancy is hard for them. At this point, I don't even want to talk to you anymore. That's how pissed off I am.
Just hold on, Mom. My little brother is out of town right now, so that made me think that Giselle had been feeling lonely. That's why I've been going over there.
Did she ever ask for you to go over to her house?
She never asked, but
She told you to stay away for the time being, didn't she? You've just been forcing your way into her house this whole time. Last month, you were told that if you didn't start to pay your rent, you'd be kicked out, right? So to make up for not having any money to go out and drink, you began using Giselle in her house to have fun?
I'm sorry.
You're my daughter, and that's why I never managed to get myself to kick you out of my house. But learning now that you've been troubling your sister-in-law so much this month, things have changed. I want you out of the house before the end of this month.
Huh? Why?
You know the reason why. all you've been doing is screwing around and haven't been trying to find yourself a job. I have asked you many times about what you're up to. And each time you tell me you're trying to turn things around. But every time you end up choosing the road of playing and drinking, instead of becoming a responsible adult. I am done trying to take care of you.
But if you kick me out of the house, where will I live?
You'll find the answer to that yourself. How old do you think you are right now? You've been told over and over and over again to be responsible for yourself now, right?
Mom, I'm sorry. I won't go over to Giselle's house anymore.
You're not supposed to be apologizing to me.
I'll apologize to her as well, all right?
Well, even if you do and go apologize to her, your father and I will no longer be taking care of you. We don't need a daughter in our house who thinks it's okay to bully a pregnant woman. I want you to learn a very good lesson from all of this.
Giselle, I heard something about this from my mom already. But were you in the hospital? I want to apologize for what I've done to you. Is it all right for me to come to your house right now?
Don't come here.
Then I'll apologize over text. I'm sorry for going to your house so many times without telling you first. But it wasn't intended to distress you or anything. I didn't really understand what it was like to be pregnant then. I will be more careful from now on. So would you please forgive me?
I'm not forgiving you.
What? Why? I am apologizing to you right now, right?
Please don't feel that. Just because you're apologizing, everything you've done will be forgiven.
Then once I start getting paid by my part-time job, I'll buy you something. And starting soon, Christmas-themed things will start coming out. Do you want something like that?
Are you done talking yet? Can't you see that I don't want to talk to you anymore?
Please, don't say something like that. I'm your husband's older sister, after all.
It's because of that reason. I've been so considerate of you all this time. I was really hoping that you and I would become close friends. But because you never thought about how I felt or about the situation I was in, I don't want to be around you anymore.
Giselle, I'm sorry. I'm asking you to please forgive me. If you don't, I'm really going to get kicked out of my parents' house.
From what your mom told me, they're kicking you out regardless of me forgiving you or not.
I know that, but if you become my friend, then maybe they'd take that back, right? They might let me continue staying at their house, right? Then you and I could slowly work toward becoming close again. I don't have any hard feelings against you for telling on me.
You don't seem to understand the whole picture yet, do you? Your whole family is cutting ties to you. Or should I say, disowning you. So there's no more chance of you becoming close with any of us. If you want for your mom to forgive you, then perhaps you should be talking to her instead of me.
And it's because I can't do that with her that I've come to you. Why can't you understand that?
You really are a selfish little jerk, aren't you? Everything always has to be about you. I mean, you would force yourself into my home all the time and force me to cook for you like I was a slave. And anytime I had something to say, you wouldn't listen to me. And all while I'm carrying a baby and have been in pain. I know the reason why I had to go to the hospital. That was all because of you.
Don't get so mad at me. I've learned a lot already.
If that was the case, then you wouldn't be telling me to forgive you right now.
Giselle, I won't go to your house anymore. And I won't ask you to do anything impossible for me anymore either. I'll even give you back that money I took. So please, give me one more chance to make things right. I've even been thinking about finding myself a real job. Soon, I realized I can't keep fooling around anymore.
Well, it's too late for that realization now. I think for a long time now, you've been given plenty of chances to make things right for yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I'm forced out of the house, I'll have nowhere to go. I'll become homeless. And a lot of my friends are even upset with me now for bringing them to your house. They've all been fighting me on it. I don't have anyone to ask for help anymore.
Well, you have half a month left. Find yourself whatever job you can right now. And best of luck to you if you actually give some effort. I'm sure you can make something work.
I can't just work any type of job, though. I'll only stay for a little bit. So can you please let me stay at your house? I'll make sure to give you something in return for it. Please forgive me.
If you'll be able to give me something in return for that, then I ask you instead, focus on getting a job and finding a place to live. I'm sure you're just lying about giving me something in return anyway, because that wouldn't benefit you. Nothing's going to change with you, and I know it. And all those empty apologies you've been giving me prove that. When the end of the month came around, both of Callie's parents forced her out of their house for good. It took a little bit of effort on their end. But after getting all her things packed into garbage bags while she was sleeping, they were able to toss them out into the front yard before they told her to leave. This really left her in a pretty helpless position. And so after screaming and crying like a baby on the floor of her house, her dad was able to pick her up and put her outside. She was in tears and freaking out like an animal stuck in a trap. But soon after that, she ran off and was never heard from again. A little while later, some of her friends that she brought over to my house came to say they were sorry for having me cook for them. I told them that it's all right and that I'm not upset with any of them over it. Considering that most of them didn't want to be there, forcing me to cook and everything for them, and made that clear to me by always telling Malene they wanted to go somewhere else. I've always been told by a lot of her friends that she will ask around, looking for someone to let her stay at their house. But not a single one of them replies to her. There was one guy that did reply to her, but he only replied to tell her no. However, this led to her freaking out again and sending him these mass texts about how he should be worried about her and all that. All he told me is that after her little outburst there, he decided to block her and move on, which sounds like a great choice to me. I don't really care what's happened to her, but it seems like her parents were a little worried about where she ended up. So they asked the police, but the police had no answers for them and said she's likely making things work out somewhere in the city. Once her parents heard that, they decided that probably the case and never worried about their daughter again. Now that they've been putting all their energy into caring for me, as they still feel bad for what their daughter had done to me, which forced me to go to the hospital. A little while after they started to help me, I was able to give birth to a little girl and a family grew just a little bit more. I was a little worried about how things would turn out for my daughter. Being as stressed as I was while carrying her could have caused some damage. But when I was told that she was completely healthy by the doctor, I was finally able to get out a sigh of relief. This isn't anything I've brought up with my family, but I want to become a stronger woman now, especially since I have a daughter to care for. I understand that I can be a bit of a pushover sometimes, but I want to fix that with the help of my husband. And over time, I hope to be one strong mother to my daughter that will help her grow into a strong woman herself.